The biggest houses slash properties in GTA Online, there's a good variety of them. Some are fancy, some are really high tech, and some look like underground dungeons. We're gonna take a look at all kinds of them, starting with the Casino Penthouse, which is probably the most high-end and fancy property there is. Actually, it might be debatable with another one that we're gonna get to in a bit, but the Master Penthouse, that's what they like to call it, is just ridiculous. You know it's fancy because it has its very own website just for buying it and customizing it. There's loads of customization you can do to it. It's gonna cost anywhere from, I think the base price is like $1.5 million, but you can easily get to spending like a good couple $1,000,000 on it. So when buying the Master Penthouse, it's gonna give you loads of different extras to add on to it. Things such as a huge lounge area, a media room, a spa, a bar, a private dealer, an office, an extra bedroom, and even your very own theater room, basically like a mini movie theater inside of your penthouse. That's only inside of the penthouse. Of course, you can also add a nice 10-car garage for your cars, which is going to be obviously in a separate area. Although, to be honest, I don't really like the lighting inside of that garage. It's not great compared to like the apartment 10-car garages, let's say. Besides those, you can also pick between color schemes and patterns on the walls. Out of all the properties you can buy in the game, I want to say this is possibly the most customizable one, or at least one of the most, because there's just so many things that you can customize with it. And of course, it's huge, which is what we're focusing on in this video. There's more stuff I didn't mention which you can go and explore yourself and find out, like the valet service, which basically teleports you to a certain place on the map, like let's say the airport or like Sandy Shores. It's super neat, and if you're in a helicopter, let's say, you can land on the helipad and then press right D-pad to actually go inside the penthouse or the casino, whichever one you want. It's safe to say the Diamond Casino Master Penthouse is huge. The only thing though, it is gonna come at a steep price, so you need money for it. Next one is the Agency, which is also a relatively fancy one, but you can't really compare it with the penthouse. I mean, it's just not as luxurious. Something I've come to really liking about the agencies is that they all have really good views. Like, it definitely has way better views than the casino one, just because they're all views of the city no matter which one you get. Especially the specific one I got has a nice view. So looking out the window, you're gonna notice you have a stunning view. Besides the view though, the property itself is really cool. With this one, you also have a nice amount of customization, like the wallpaper on the walls and stuff, and the different color schemes. One thing I really like about this one is you can add an armory, so basically like a special weapon workshop for Mark II weapons and stuff like that. It's almost like an ammunition store in your own property. You can buy body armor, you can buy ammo for weapons. Of course, you can have a living quarters. You can also have a vehicle workshop inside of the 20-car garage you can buy for it too. Or I'm not sure if it comes with the place or not, but either way, it has a 20-car garage. So unlike with the penthouse, not only a 10 but a 20-car garage, which is huge. And unlike the penthouse one, it actually has good lighting in this one, and it's got 3 different floors. It's definitely a nicer garage than the penthouse one. I guess that's another thing the agency has a one-up on the penthouse. Also, it's important to mention that this property is really good for money making. Inside of your office there, you have a hidden money safe, which you can press right D-pad to open up, and you gradually make money the more contracts you complete. And to start those little missions, you just go inside of the computer in your office. There's also the mini agency heist that you can start through that computer as well. It's definitely a solid money maker, and possibly the best part about the agency is going up to Franklin's dog Chop and pressing right D-pad to pet him. It's really wholesome and a lot of people's favorite part about the agency. Next one is the facility, which is kind of like a high-tech FBI type building. Actually, it's not really a building, it's more of an underground structure. Starting with the garage side of it, you can store 7 cars in it. It's not how you'd imagine a typical garage would look like. It's just a big space, and there's 7 total spots for personal vehicles. There's also a spot for the thruster, aka the jetpack if you actually buy one, and a big spot in the middle for your Avenger if you do have an Avenger too. Sometimes running through the facility just feels like a marathon. Just to get from the vehicles area to the front desk is gonna take you a good 30 seconds of sprinting, which might not sound like a lot, but trust me, it's a good amount. Once you eventually get to the front desk, you have some simple options like taking a vehicle outside or buying some snacks. Then running a bit further down to the left is gonna be the orbital cannon room, which is something you can add on to the facility once you buy it. If you don't know what that does, it is very deadly. It targets a specific player or just spot on the map, and then just does sort of like a precise explosion if you were to have like a spacecraft that can shoot a specific spot on planet Earth, or planet Los Santos we'll call it. It's pretty OP unless someone is in God mode. Going a bit further, you're eventually gonna get to the heist room, too. You can start up all the Doomsday heists, which are pretty good. They just take a bit. They take a while to complete if you do the setups and everything. And then a lot of the rest of the facility is just for show. There's a lot of computers and monitor setups and some machinery that you can't really do anything with. Sadly, they're only for show, although they do look pretty cool. Now, moving on to what I said can compete with the master penthouse for the fanciest and most luxurious thing in the game. It is the Galaxy Super Yacht, which is undoubtedly very bougie. It can go as expensive as $10 million, which is the most expensive property entirely in the whole game. It comes with some jet skis you can ride, a speedboat. It's got multiple hot tubs if you get the $10 million one. If you get the cheaper one, I think you just have one hot tub if I'm not mistaken. But who cares? I mean, who needs multiple hot tubs on the same property? It's also got at least one helipad with a luxury helicopter on it. I believe it's the Luxor Swift helicopter, which is a nice one. It comes by default on it, and you also have a second one on the other side if you get the very bougie and expensive one. It has some nice customization as well. You can pick the LED colored lights that go throughout the yacht. You can also customize the country flag on it too, and you can pick a name for your yacht, which is going to be right under the country flag on the back of it. So that's only the exterior of the yacht. It also has a really nice interior, which I didn't mention to capture in this gameplay. It's got all the fancy looking things like a nice bedroom, nice bathroom, a cool bar area and stuff. And if I remember correctly, you can go in the cockpit too. Correct me in the comments if I am mistaken on that. For money making though, the yacht isn't that great. It's definitely not as great as the casino penthouse, the agency, or the facility, since it doesn't really have well-paying missions. Then we have the underground bunker, which is a bit better for money making. You do have the cargo delivery missions through there. It's got a very big area, but like with the facility, a lot of the stuff in it is just for show. You're gonna see a bunch of scientists doing research and testing out weapons, and you can't really do anything or interact in any way with those. It does have some cool stuff though, like you can add a shooting range to it, which you can't do with a lot of other places. Having your own shooting range is actually pretty sick. You also store your MOC in there, so you can customize your MOC and your anti-aircraft trailer in there as well. The MOC is one of the most important vehicles nowadays for players. There's a living quarters, so you can spawn there, and the little laptop, so you can actually manage everything. You can manage the research, you can manage cargo missions, you can unlock certain vehicles and camos for Mark II weapons too, which is cool. Then moving on, we have a bit of a different one, which are the stilt houses. Basically the mansions you can buy in Vinewood Hills. You have a good couple different options. It's not just one house you can buy, it's a couple of them. Whichever one you pick is gonna have an amazing view. I mean, those houses on the hills have probably the best or one of the best views in the game. A similar view to the one I showcased in my agency, because they're not too far away from each other. The reason this one's different from everything else is because it doesn't really have any money making methods. It's just a normal nice house without, like, let's say a special weapon workshop or anything like that. It does have a nice 10-car garage that comes with it, and it does have a really nice interior, which I didn't manage to capture in this gameplay, just like with the Super Yacht, unfortunately. If you come across needing to buy one of these normal houses with no like extra crazy features, one of these mansions would be a good option. And now that you know the biggest houses slash properties in the game, click the video on screen now for the best properties you can buy. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.